Well, hello, hello. Happy New
Hello.
Year's Eve, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Good to have you, Angela. This is going to be so much fun.
I'm glad you're here, Katie.
Me too. So, yesterday, for all of you guys that are wondering why in the world I sound like this, I was diagnosed. Diagnosed sounds so harsh. Oh my gosh. I was just tested and I have strep. So, I'm a little under the weather, but I'm making it and this is a welcome distraction. So, I'm glad to be here with all of you guys. So, if I leave for a moment, I'm just having a coughing fit, but I'm all good. Angela, glad you could do this and be my excellent
Yay.
co-host.
I'm here to be the hostess with the mostest.
I love your brooch. I think that's so
Thank
fun.
you. I got my fancy blingy brooch. I know Katie says she wears them wherever, but I don't wear them to work because I'm too afraid they'll get banged up, stuck on, so I don't wear them there. So finally, I had an occasion to wear this pretty brooch.
Good.
And then
Yes.
I get my Thrill of the Thrift merch that I designed.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that shirt. Yeah, sometimes the rhinestones and brooches get caught on things. The other day I was at grandma's and we kept trying to close the door and the door wouldn't close and I'm like, "Grandma, there's something wrong with your door." And I'm thinking the hinges got jammed. No, one of the rhinestones from a brooch my mom had on that wasn't the prong set, it was just glued in, fell out and it was a honker. It was like that big. It got jammed under the door. So those prong set brooches are good because they don't have issues. But I'm wearing my New Year's Eve JJ champagne bottle from Nate, who's floating in the chat. I see him, and I have on my New Year's
Oh
Eve
yeah, this is
tie.
me, Willie.
So this is so fun. And my Greek key on my hat in gold, which I love. I think is very New Year's.
Look young, feel old.
Yeah, I'm really boring tonight. I just have coffee because
I just have it's whiskey. It's a mixed
ooh,
whiskey drink. I was gonna do the hard Mountain Dew thing, but that thing turned my whole face red. So I was like, I don't really want to go on live like that. So um it's like sugar free squirt and whiskey. So just like a little. There you go.
what kind of whiskey my brother would be
Oh, it's
interested
Jack
in?
Daniels.
Jack Daniels, classic Jack.
Yeah. And my
That's fun.
fancy diamond point glass.
I love those
This is my
glasses.
special occasion glass.
I went to get some glasses out for dinner tonight, and I thought, I used to have some champagne glasses that were fun to do, like the Welch's grape juice and stuff in, but I could not find those. So we had Fostoria glasses tonight, and those are just as beautiful.
Hey, Poodle.
Yeah, we got lots of folks in the chat. I think we should say hello. Poodle is here, and I am so glad. Poodle is excellent. She is our regular friend that comes in the chat, and I just adore Poodle. So happy New Year to you, Poodle.
Thank you for taking a break from the alley
Yes,
tonight.
to just laugh
Swinging
and spend
some
New
things.
Year's. There'll be fireworks over the alley, though. I can picture it now. Virginia, hello, is here. Welcome,
Hey,
welcome,
Denise.
welcome. I'm doing better today, Virginia, a little bit. I'm not coughing as much, and that's good. And I started my antibiotic today. So all of that hopefully will be kicking in. But yeah, for the last couple of days, I've been feeling pretty down and out. Denise is here. Welcome to you. Nate is here as well. Welcome,
Hey,
Nate.
Needy Poo.
It's already New Year's for Nate in New Zealand.
I know. It's like 2 in the afternoon, 3, something.
Which is crazy because New Year's Eve is just starting for us here, and people are already shooting off fireworks. I don't know
Oh,
about
yeah, it just
you.
happened here, too. Hey,
Yeah,
Susan Jackson.
crazy. Hey, Christy,
Hey,
welcome,
Christy.
welcome. Melody Downs is here. Welcome, Melanie. William Yeager is here. Hello,
Hey,
hello.
Willie.
Joe.
Katie, did you see him on the Fatbird Finds episode when they were at the pop up?
No, I did not. I missed that.
Willie's all kinds of trouble.
We like trouble around here. I don't know if Helen's in the chat, but she sure raises some
I
trouble
haven't
in the
seen her
chat.
yet.
And
Hey,
I love
Val.
Helen for that. Helen's great.
Hey,
Let's see.
Joe.
Joe, welcome. We said hi to Susan Jackson. Glad to have you in the chat. Karen Girl is here. Welcome.
Hi.
Let's see. Who else am I missing?
Yeah,
Can
Helen
we
is
say
his
hey to
nemesis.
Debbie?
Hey, Debbie.
And Leslie Clark is here. Welcome, Leslie.
Welcome, Leslie.
Did we say hi to Monica Gear?
I don't think so yet. Hey, Monica.
Welcome, Monica. Glad you're here. Maria is here as well. Welcome,
Yeah,
Maria.
Maria.
Hello, hello. Julie Berry is back in the chat.
Hey,
Welcome,
Julie.
Julie. Glad to have you here. Let's see. Val M is here as well. Welcome, Val. Glad to have you. Let's see. Kathy Neitholt is here as well. Welcome.
Hey, Kathy.
And I think we're all caught up in the chat, which is wonderful.
We are.
So, can I show a little sneak
Hey,
preview of
Judy.
something, Angela, before we get started? Hey, Judy. Okay, so my mom has been working on something really cool for the new year. We're calling them Julies. They will be available soon, but they're not finished yet. These are just the first few out of the kiln. If you don't know, my mom does pottery, and she has been working really hard on these Julies, we're calling them, for your dresser, for all your jewelry. And since Angela has a sparkly brooch on, it reminded me I wanted to show these. These are porcelain dishes with fused glass and transfer that my mom's been doing. And this is prototype number one of the pieces that will be available.
Hey,
And,
Maple Girl
and
Shop.
then there is this beautiful dish as well. And a lot of work goes into these. Mom has to line the transfers up in multiple small pieces and then fuse the glass. They have to be fired in the kiln once and then specially fired again. And then there's vintage findings in the bottom.
Katie, is that someone you met on your cruise, Maple Girl Shops?
Quite possibly. Did she say
cruise afternoon tea?
Sandra, welcome. We met Sandra having afternoon tea. It was so lovely. We were sitting in the tea room, and Sandra said, I recognize your voice. And Jeffrey was sitting there, and I was sitting there. So, Sandra, it's wonderful to have you in the chat tonight. I'm so glad that you are tuning in and you're able to join us. So, very exciting to meet some of the viewers in person and on a cruise, no less. That was really cool. Let's see. Yes, mom is very creative, so these will be coming soon. We also have more ornaments coming in the new year as well that mom and I've been working on with the vintage findings that will go along with the brooches and all the things. And Nate and I hope to have a sale soon once I get totally back to myself. So glad to have Catherine as well in the chat. Thank you for that super chat, Catherine. That's very kind of you. All right. So, Angela, are we ready to get this party started?
Sorry, I was checking a message from one of our guests.
Good. Okay. Yes. We got some fun guests.
They're running behind, but we have plenty of time. I mean, Katie may have to step out. If she does, we'll hold the show down for her, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Catherine.
Right now, I'm doing okay, and I've got my hot
Thank
coffee.
You, Virginia.
So all is well.
My hair, though, today. I'm waiting for it all to grow back.
Well, I like your headband. I think that's very pretty.
I usually don't wear this one because it's kind of padded, and I just feel like it's so big when I go out in public. But,
well, it's perfect for a live.
Yay. Okay.
So we've got trivia. We've got some special guests lined up tonight. It's going to be really fun. And Angela, do we want to kick off with some trivia, or do we want to start with some of our predictions for the new year?
Yeah, let's start with some of our predictions. We can talk about some of the trends, so that way we can ask some of our guests about the trivia. So Katie and I, we both watched someone called Lone Fox. He's an
Yep.
interior decorator, YouTube content creator. And he had a list of what he thought was going to be trendy in the upcoming year. And then Pinterest, I also saw putting up trends just as you look through the thing, and those are pretty interesting. So we can bring that up first. They had a castle core.
Castle
So
core.
I said that could kind of tie into maybe our love of antiques, maybe like the silver plate and things like that. But I was like, what else would you think? What do you think about castle core?
That's a really hard one for me. I mean, I'm thinking of our Pantone color of the year for 2025, which is Mocha Mousse. I'm all
Yeah.
about the coffee things, but Mocha Mousse, that color I think would tie in with the Castle Core, along with maybe some of the other trends that we're seeing for the new year. But that's an interesting one. And all of this last year, the big thing was cottage core. So we're moving through,
Yeah,
through
I
all the different
wonder.
of
Yeah, I wonder if the castle core kind of evolved maybe from the dark academia,
yes,
kind of
could
just
be.
the darker vibes, but more than just
Yeah, gothic,
gothic emo kind of thing.
darker, beautiful, more beautiful, black, darker tones with some of that silver playing in. We do have a guest in the waiting room. I just want to acknowledge that I do see them and they're here,
Yes.
so we'll bring them up in a minute. But I think that's an interesting one for 2025. What else? Lone Fox mentioned some things in his video, which if you don't watch him, does a lot with antiques and vintage too.
Yeah,
So
he's been really getting antiques, and he's going to be opening a space in LA where he has more of the bigger pieces, furniture and art and stuff. But he was talking about vintage, antique, and glass. He thinks is going to be bigger this year, and how when you go to the antique booths, they usually just walk right past glass. We don't, of course, but I said, good. Maybe that'll mean like glass will be trending upwards for us, and maybe stuff will pick up for us. Like, and the glass department, and they put like unique lighting, so one of a kind thing, which can also tie back into vintage. Trying to find that one of a kind piece.
I think as more and more people find some of the offerings in our everyday society through some of these websites that are inexpensive, and they find that things aren't lasting and they're becoming more and more expensive for something that's cheaply made, I think more people will start turning to vintage, because thrifting overall is a huge trend already. And I think it's just going to even pick up more momentum as we go into the new year, where people are going to find kind of those thrifted, unique pieces that fill a niche spot in their home. The other thing is, George has talked about it, but at some point he feels wood furniture will be coming back. And with the castle core, I definitely can see some of these more gothic style, darker wood furniture pieces coming back into people's homes. I go to estate sales like a lot of us do, and you can find them pieces for 25 to 50 bucks so cheap at estate sales. And I often wonder why people don't use that as a method to source for their homes and apartments, because it's much cheaper than IKEA. But I hope in 2025, nothing wrong with the modern look, but my hope for society is that a lot of that will kind of like taper down, and more people will be shopping secondhand, because that supports all of our small businesses.
People want more one of a kind, unique things because they don't want the same thing that everyone else has. He also said warm oak, he believes, is going to be popular too, away from the light, birch type wood. So the warm oak, and that could go with many styles.
That ties back
and stuff
to the 90s, the 80s and 90s themes that
that's gonna. That's what I felt like tied into, because he mentioned skirts on things. So skirts under furniture, under sinks, or making little curtains on things, and I feel like that comes back to the 90s in a big way. All that teddy bear stuff too.
I also feel, and I said this to Jeffrey, and he didn't quite 100% agree, but I I feel the 70s is coming back. Excuse me. Not so much the flower power, that's kind of big within our vintage community, but I feel like the wood kind of country western themes in the 70s will make a big comeback.
Yeah, they were saying that Western cowboy aesthetic is going to be trendy too, or they believe.
We see a lot of it in a lot of the shows that people are super into and watching, and I think all of that will kind of filter back in, and also just the coziness of the homes from the 70s and that time period. People kind of, I think, want to infuse back into their spaces, like you were saying, with the unique pieces, less sterile, less cold. Because I find what a lot of modern aesthetic is. There's nothing wrong with that, of course, because people love it. But I like having a lot of interesting things around me because I like to be kind of surrounded in that cozy vintage world.
So we have our special guest.
Yes, we do.
Green room.
The wing. So should we bring her on?
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Bring her on.
Okay, guys, put some guesses in the chat of who you think our first guest will be.
She looks great.
Has a very special agenda that might have to do a lot with the things that we collect and love. So let's bring her on. Oh, and she has a special person that may or may not be with her. So let's see here. We've got Heather.
Hi. Yeah, I sent him off to find my glasses so I could read the stats.
Wait, where'd he go?
Heather, you look so fabulous and sparkly.
Yes.
Do you know I've had this shirt in my closet probably for 10 years and I have never worn it? And I said, I'm doing it. I'm wearing this beast.
That's so good.
We're tie buddies.
And
I know.
I love it.
Yay.
I love it so much.
Thank you. He found me some glasses.
Yay.
Hi, Mr. Agenda.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Katie. Hi, Angela.
Happy New Year's Eve. Katie, I'm sorry you're under the weather. That really stinks.
Yes, no fun here, but the good thing is I get to slow down. Even if I'm forced to, I can just watch movies in bed, which has been really nice.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, watching movies in bed is the best.
I've been on a real rom-com kick. Sorry for Jeffrey, who's been visiting here. He's not a rom-com guy, but I have been totally into the Hallmark Christmas rom-com movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of them aren't the best, but there are a few that are really good.
I
don't do the Hallmark, but I love Actually and The Holiday, that kind of rom-com.
Yes. Yeah. Well, they're all the same story and same town, just different name, different people. But there's something so like comforting about it when you're sick.
Yeah.
Everything ends out okay. So, it's all good.
About 15 minutes before the end of the movie, that's when disaster strikes.
Yes.
And then everything gets figured out at the end, and then it's all happy.
It's like your conflict, then they make up, and happily ever after.
Yeah, and you want more of the makeup time, and you're like, it's over?
It's over already? Like I hate
what's
when
gonna
happen?
Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. Wow.
Lots of people in the chat. Cindy popped in as well.
So exciting. I'm on with Heather and Scott. I usually just go to the sales and, tease them. So
I know. I love it when Angela comes in. And
no scary dolls here. Just a gizmo,
Oh, shoot. I should have brought a doll.
Ooh.
Oh, well.
No.
We got lots of
leave those in 2024.
I don't think I predict that dolls will always be a highly niche market and never be highly trending. I mean, maybe at Halloween dolls trend up, but that's about it.
Yeah.
You will not find dolls trending in my home. I don't think.
Yeah, I'm so used to it now. It doesn't even affect me anymore.
It's just a part of your world now.
You just come up. Do you have names for them? You're just like, hey, Cindy.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be very self-conscious around them, but
I do have names for the boudoir dolls.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they're watching me change.
They really do. They do. All the
I
teddies
have
too.
those eyes.
Although I have some that are like twins. I just call them the twins.
I remember being a kid and going over to my babysitter's house, and we had to spend the night over there one time, and they had that traditional, like, very 90s spare room with the pull-out couch and like all the dolls and the fake plants and I remember being so creeped out because they were just staring into my soul.
I think it depends. If you were not a doll person as a child,
no,
you're never going to be a doll person. But if you played with baby dolls and fashion dolls as a child, you can get drawn back into it.
Yeah, I was a Lego, Play-Doh, play cashier type person, not into dolls.
Mm-hmm.
No, the dolls got like stripped in, they were thrown around and you draw on them and
I never drew on my dolls.
Oh yeah.
No.
So my friend
I didn't have no fancy dolls, so
had dolls that were given to her by her cousin. And when her grandma came in to see, what was happening and why things were so rowdy, she was playing with the dolls, but she colored them red and had her dinosaurs eating them like the movie.
Oh no.
Her grandma was like, okay, that's enough of
Poor child. That poor child was like working out some mental trauma.
Sit on Toy Story where he's just making
this
little
hybrids.
The monster dolls.
That's scary.
Yeah. But they were good. Remember how good they were? They helped Buzz and Lightyear and Buzz and
they have another Toy Story coming out.
Do they?
Another one?
Either in 2025 or 2026. I was trying to find something else, and it was talking about movies coming up. There's so many sequels to movies that have been going on forever coming out. I was just surprised.
I have completely lost track.
I was like, so what? Like Andy as a father now? I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's going to be like
we went off to college, so maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, which Toy Story is this now?
I think it's
5.
Oh,
5.
Wow.
I believe.
I remember the first one and the second one, and then I lost count after that.
I think I saw 3.
Yeah, I can't remember the fourth one is.
I know I saw one Toy Story in 3D because we accidentally bought 3D tickets to it, and I remember having a headache, and that's all I remember about.
Nice, Christy. Another trend on Pinterest was sea witchery. So, what's your thoughts on this?
Sea witchery.
What is this?
Yeah.
Okay. First, some of these things. Okay, is this a trend that they're saying for interiors, or just a trend?
Just a trend. They said forecasting.
If it's a trend that 20-year-olds came up with on TikTok, I don't give a flying.
Yeah.
What trend? But if it's like actually, someone's thoughts about either fashion or interior or vintage, I don't.
Yeah, they didn't specify when you click on it because I was like, oh, Castle Core. Is there more examples like what they're saying, what they're thinking? And of course, no, it just loads back to your main screen. So I was like, well, you just have like a dinner table. So what are we talking about here? Like, interiors.
I can't see how sea witchery would be a trend. Like a mainstream trend.
No.
And how's it different from like mermaid core? You're just with the pearls and gold. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't know.
Looks like Catherine's a fan though.
Well, we're all into witch stuff. Who doesn't like witch stuff? I just don't understand some of the core, the core.
Sea witch like Ursula.
And how did they come about?
All these
villain era, right?
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy, man, go for it. But I just wonder, who decided somewhere along the way.
I do. Yeah, I do think that in general, whether you are modern or traditional or boho, I do think that vintage and antiques have become a trend. No matter what style you like, I do think that more and more of the younger kids, because as Katie said, thrifting has become so popular that in everybody's both fashion taste and in their home, they are leaning more toward antiques and vintage, no matter what style they prefer. I do think that it's a general trend, you know.
And the great thing about vintage is there's a trend and a subsect of it for every literal taste, whether
Right.
it's, like you said, traditional or boho or, I mean, 90s. You can find it all. It's out there waiting to be discovered.
Yeah. I definitely think that the younger kids are still leaning toward more of the modern.
Hey, Helen.
You know, because I don't see a lot of like the fashionable younger channels. I don't see their living rooms like full on antique furniture. I see like they like the antique pictures and whatever, but their furniture is still leaning a little more modern, you know.
And I see a lot of because I am on TikTok, so I keep up with some things. I see a lot of mid-century modern recreation furniture from companies that a lot of the younger people seem to be super into.
Yeah. I thought that just because the boho 70s came around, I thought we were really going to be hit with a lot of the 1980s throwback to Art Deco. You know how 80s does Deco? I thought we were going to see a lot more of that, but I haven't seen it as much as I thought. The way 70s boho just overtook every place.
Loaded.
Target was full of macrame.
That's my jam.
Yeah. But I thought I was going to see like repros of Nagel posters. You know what I mean? And I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a ton of Hager pottery repros in Target. And I thought that was coming, but it didn't hit.
You know what I saw in Target the other day is Tupperware, the actual branded Tupperware. I guess they're redoing that now. So it's kind of crazy what's all available in the reproduction.
Hey, Barbara and Bundo.
Barbara.
Hey, Barbara.
Hey, Barbara. Yeah, Art Deco. That's a surprising one because I would have thought that there would be more of it. And, you know, especially in restaurants and themed spaces, that could be really cool and swanky in large cities. And I just don't see as much of it as I would have expected. Hi, Lynn.
Hey, Lynn.
Especially down in Florida. There's a lot of Art Deco stuff in Miami.
Yeah.
But it's timeless though. You know, I don't think it'll ever go out of style.
No, it's classic, and I love Art Deco. Anything, I think is wonderful. I see our next guest popping in and out of the green room, so I don't know if they're.
I let them know because I think it says device not connected.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So I just if they can hear us, I just wanted to know, let them know we see them.
Guillotines and suits of armor this year. Hey,
like Monica. That is a bold prediction. Let's see if that pans out.
They used to have those little wooden kind of mannequin pieces you could put for like drawing sketches and maybe they'll have like a miniature suit of armor you could just put on your bookshelf.
Yeah.
Hey, Audrey.
Hey, Audrey. Welcome into the chat.
Yeah, there's so many people you just follow, and then they're just talking about thrifting now, and they're starting to resell because they see that it's such a trend with younger people, younger than me.
My friend who is, let's see, Adara is just turned 21. She is all into the bohemian 70s stuff, and we went out thrifting, and she thrifted her whole living room this year, pretty much for around $200. Couch, everything. It was amazing. Got this big bohemian wicker. I mean, it's huge. You know, where an old box TV would have fit into it. But it's cool. And we were able to just go from thrift store to thrift store one day and patch together all of this neat stuff. But she buys everything secondhand.
Good for
and
her.
It's much cheaper that way, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, there's just so much stuff already out there. It's like reuse the stuff if it's good in quality, because the stuff these days is just not.
Oftentimes, 10 times better quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing how much better quality some of the old stuff is.
I have pieces of furniture from my great grandparents in my house that look almost brand new. And then my friends have things from IKEA that after 1 year of owning them, they've completely delaminated and fallen apart.
Yeah, the first thing that runs into that thin veneer they put on the IKEA furniture, and it's ruined.
Yeah.
There's no way to there's no way to refinish it.
I was trying to think about like what do I think is going to roll back around in more of like the vintage antiques and what people are buying and selling. And remember when back when people actually watched cable and they were watching antique anthropology or American Pickers.
Oh, American Pickers.
American Pickers. Yeah. And like how they trended all of that huge industrial, like a lot of what you like.
Yep.
They trended all of that industrial stuff up so high. I think that in another maybe 5 years, it's going to like come back around, and then everybody's going to be after all of Katie's stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even in the niche markets of all the industrial collector people, we have little groups of the prices and advertising is insane. I mean, if you want a sign, like an authentic, even tin signs now, the tin tackers are in the $500 range, depending on condition, if not more. It's just becoming so expensive. So I'm glad I entered it when I did, because I was able to get some pieces more reasonably. And now, if you want anything like Coca-Cola, for example, it's just through the roof of expensive.
Good job, Waffle.
Yeah.
Willie says, "Do you think those precious moments are making a comeback?"
No.
I think that there's probably some younger kids where that the precious moments appeals to the folks that like the anime big eyes, because there's something about their faces that reminds me
of
like,
the upcycle. I know
Hello
people were
Kitty
doing.
Yeah, but it will never have a collectible. It will never have like a collectible resurgence. It's like Beanie Babies. It will never come back. It will. I don't even know if Precious Moments was that big in the 80s. I don't know.
Speaking of Beanie Babies, there's a woman or a person, I don't know actually, that lives like a couple doors down from me, and they have Beanie Babies in the clear box, like collector's box by their door. And every time I walk by, I say to Jeffrey, "You think it's Princess Di?" Laugh about that. Anyway.
So they have them outside of their door? Like, take one? I don't want them anymore?
Oh, I should preface this by saying our apartment's cool. We have these little cubbies by the door where everybody can decorate however they want to decorate. Mine's a Friends theme. I have a little Phoebe's taxi cab, and I have a little duck and a chick outside my door. But other people do different things, and you can decorate them for the holidays and whatnot. There's another neighbor of mine that puts out a big basket of candy like at Halloween, which is fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so basically the internet ruined all of the collectibles like Hummels and things like that, because people thought that they were. I think people don't realize how mass produced they were.
Yeah. There's so much of it out there now that a lot of people find them to be more common than they once were when the internet wasn't around and people didn't realize so much of one thing existed.
Yeah, the internet has exposed. It just brought out everything from out of the woodwork. Well,
I mean, it's done a lot of great things, but I think it definitely dampened the antique market the way it was in the 80s. When you look back at those pricing guides and at the glass prices, and, you're just like, wow, that got $600, and it's just Carnival glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Depression glass. My
yeah.
friend at the antique mall that does the brooches, she was into the Depression glass back in the 80s, and she said, man, that was a time to be alive. You could go to a show and have one piece sell for like $1,000 because and now like you can't give it away.
Yeah.
It's such a shame because it's so pretty.
I have a huge soft spot for Depression glass. And, is it the Vaseline? Or
Vaseline is
Vaseline
a
glass?
Color.
It's a color. It's like more like a yellow.
It's
color.
The yellow color.
Yeah.
But they did.
But the uranium glass, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way it just pops when you Put the
It's
black.
the coolest party trick ever. If
It
you have
is.
people that aren't into vintage and you turn off all your lights when they come over and you're like, let me show you something, and they get freaked out for a second because they're like, why are you turning off the lights? And then you hit it with a black light and it's like, whoa.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and then people are like, "There's what in it?"
Yeah.
Maybe
Don't
that-
worry, it's fine.
I just tell people it's pretty green glass.
That's right.
You don't freak
Have a
out. Like, you're
few
serving me
sweet
uranium. I'm gonna
there.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Eclectic Dab wants to know, how do you make sure there aren't bed bugs, etc., in vintage furniture? That's a good question.
Interesting.
Mm.
I know there are some states where the thrift stores are required to do something, some sort of disinfectant to items before they even sell it. If I were selling clothing or like linens where you were suspicious, I'm assuming you probably would want to. Don't some people like put them in a bag for a certain amount
That's
of
what
time?
I was going to say. And then people say put them in the freezer if you
Yeah,
can.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some techniques that some people use. I mean, I don't think we really have bed bugs in Colorado.
I mean, we
I don't know.
do, but they have to be. It has to be very unsanitary conditions for them to thrive here. But I imagine in some parts of the country,
Yeah,
just because the climate is
right. It's
more conducive to
bugs in general.
bugs. Yeah, yeah. Bugs don't really like it too much here.
And I would also, if you stick to wood furniture and things that can be wiped down, that kind of stuff is always genuinely, I'd say, very safe. And also look at the condition of the home it's coming from. Like when I go to estate sales, if there's a home that looks almost like model, like it was just taken out of the 50s and plopped here today, I typically wouldn't worry too much. But you can lift up, the furniture and inspect it yourself. And if you're worried about it, leave it outside for a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the sun.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good to be cautious because
Yeah.
I don't really go to the bins a lot, but I watch here and there of people who go to the bins and saying that they got hand, foot, mouth disease. They got just
That's horrible.
bad stuff in those bins.
Yeah, I've never been to the bins. Can you believe
Me
it?
neither. There's
I haven't
not
either.
that close to me.
There's not that many thrift stores here that do bins, is there?
There is a Goodwill bins off of
No,
Federal.
Christy.
Okay.
No
Oh.
QP trends.
No QP trends.
I forbid it.
No, you need to ask Heather that. You guys can start the QP trend, okay? And Pam, not from Katie and I.
Yeah, you're not gonna see that from me. But what you will see is our next guest who wants to join in and chat.
We can have
And they're
some
coming all the
trivia.
way from Canada, and we can play some rounds of trivia.
Hey. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Karen and Gavin!
Yeah.
Hi.
How's everybody?
Karen?
Karen, we're live together. This is our first time.
Yay.
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel so honored to be on the same time as these two lovely
I
people.
know.
Oh, no.
Stop.
He can't help himself, Gavin. He can't help himself.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we had a little technical issue at the beginning here, but we managed to get through it. So
Good.
You got
it didn't go as well as the practice did last night. Put it that way.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh,
That happens sometimes. We're just glad to have you guys here. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, that was awesome. We really appreciate being thought of. That's for sure.
Yeah.
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 Great.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed your Christmas video, and the
Oops.
night before Christmas at the end was just wonderful.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Thanks. Yeah, we threw that together at last minute, actually.
Our plans changed that evening, so we had some time.
Yeah.
Well, it turned out so well, and your house is so cozy and so fun to see on
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're not following Gavin at Grady Group of Vintage Recordings, he posts music, and sometimes he has a live stream. So he's got different names for the different days of the week. I don't remember all the names, but I know there's some Focus Friday or
Focus Friday.
And Karen makes all his thumbnails.
Yes, and that's actually helped quite. I've noticed a big difference in viewership in that since she started doing all those thumbnails for sure.
It helps.
Please follow, subscribe.
Yeah,
whatever Wednesday.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with it, that's for sure.
Well, that's what's great. And of course, also Heather, subscribe to Heather if you guys don't already.
Yes,
I'm sure you do.
So, Gavin, did you get some special new vinyl for Christmas?
Oh, yeah. I was trying to remember what I got. Oh, boy.
You got Charlie Patton.
Oh, yeah, I got a Charlie Patton, which is a late 20s blues guy. I got Bad Company, some Deep Purple, Howlin' Wolf. Yeah. My boy picked me out a 1960s psychedelic rock record, which is pretty interesting. The Doors, Morrison Hotel. Yeah, I did really good.
The Charlie Patton, was that from Record Store Day?
No, actually, we went to my son's record store one day last week, and he had it in there, and it was in there. It was an issue from 1977.
Wow, that's amazing.
It just happened to be floating through in the store, and he grabbed it for me. Yeah.
That's Charlie Patton stuff's hard to get.
Yeah. If you ever can come across a 78 of his, you could buy a couple houses with it.
Yeah.
The original recording.
Hold on. Wait, we need to circle back to that.
Yeah.
78 vinyl record of who?
Charlie Patton.
But is there a specific record?
Just any of them, actually, because he recorded in 1929, started recording, and if you can ever find a 78 record of his, it's a gold mine because they're just not around.
Everybody, write that down.
Yeah.
That's the stuff I would want to know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's still because vinyl had a big resurgence. What was it, like maybe 10 years ago, where all the young kids were getting, like, they started making the little record players again and stuff.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that it has cooled off a little bit and it's gone back to just the digital, the purists who have always been collecting.
I know that T-Swift, there's still some modern people who put their stuff out in vinyl, and then it's like colored.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's blue or clear or all different colors.
Yeah, I've got some colored vinyl. Yeah.
Have you seen the records that are filled? So they're clear vinyl, and then there's like a liquid inside, so that when it spins around, the liquid moves.
Never.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
You need to do a deep dive on that, Katie.
I missed so much about music. Like back in the 80s, when I started listening to music, was you would buy the album and it would there was so much artwork on it, and there was like stories inside, and they had the lyrics all printed out. Songs, and it was album. Like you bought an album to listen to the whole thing. It was like a story from start to end.
Yeah.
Now it's like it's like one song here by an artist, and then you listen to another song. You don't have that full picture that the artist was trying to share with you. That's
there's some really good artwork on some albums. I was talking with my boy about what's trending, what he's found in the selling records and that, and what he's noticed is a lot of the music from the 80s and 90s, for example, which could be in a movie or something, it trends on TikTok. So he finds a lot of people coming in to buy, I want this Brothers in Arms album by Dire Straits. They'll have a rash of selling them for 2 weeks because it was on TikTok. And then when the TikTok dies out, that album quit selling.
Oh
I
wow.
feel like that's Kate Bush and Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Yep.
you hear it everywhere.
yeah.
All the music that's in the Marvel series,
Oh yeah.
all of that
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
That's what I was gonna
There
say.
you go.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, that's a great soundtrack.
Isn't
Oh
it?
yeah, great movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
Should we do some trivia?
Yeah, I think we need to do some New Year's.
Some New
Yeah.
Year's trivia.
New Year's trivia. Oh boy.
Oh,
Scary.
it's themed? What's the subject? What's the category, Angela?
New Year's Eve. New Year's.
Oh,
New Year's Eve. So this is just
Hi,
fun.
Heather. This is a New Year's Eve show.
Really?
Hey, Halen Vintage, and I see
Hey,
and
Halen.
also from Mother Tucker's Antiques.
Hey,
Happy New
Shannon.
Year, guys. Okay,
yeah. Susan Jackson already has my answer. Dick Clark.
Dick Clark. There you go. I like it. I'm rocking New Year's Eve.
I'm going to do question number 1, Katie.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. In what year did the ball lowering celebration in Times Square first take place?
Oh, I know the answer to this, so I can't answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, Cindy.
Can I give a hint to everybody?
Okay.
Okay, so this is the year that the Times had their first celebration and opening the newspaper in this building,
Oh.
the New York
Color
Times.
Center?
Imagine.
Much
Chrissy. Oh wait, Cindy.
earlier.
They're all. A lot of people are guessing 50s.
Yep, I see lots of guesses here.
1930.
I don't know.
Susan Jackson, 1944. Okay, everyone lock in their answers.
1932.
Okay,
What I say?
all right, so we got 30s up on screen. I see Maria says 23.
Getting closer.
Okay, getting closer. All right, you want to give them the answer, Angela?
1907.
Oh.
Wow.
No.
7.
That far back. Wow.
I know.
would
I'm
never
surprised.
That's amazing.
Did the ball go up and down in 1907?
They formed a ball, and it was the whole idea was to celebrate like the opening of their building, and then it became this whole celebration. And
Mm.
how New Year's got started, and in New York City was this whole celebration of the Times.
Okay.
Wow.
That's really interesting.
Way earlier than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Learning things. That's what I love about trivia is learning stuff like that. I didn't.
Yeah.
All kinds of cool stuff. There is. Let me see if I can. Before I move on to the next question, hang on here. I have something interesting for you. Here. So there's a guy I follow. His account is called Here in New York, and he does stuff about New York City all the time. And he posted this yesterday, which one Times Square is the second tallest building in Manhattan. It was the new headquarters for the New York Times, and they hosted a celebration to mark the building's opening in 1907, which started the New York New Year's Eve annual tradition. In 1964, one Times Square was renovated, and the terracotta detailing on the exterior of the building was stripped and replaced with this marble cladding. The New York Times moved out of the building in 1913, and since the 70s, the building has been empty. Billboards started to cover the building, which made it one of the most valuable empty buildings in New York City because it's now covered in advertising.
Wow.
And in 2025, they are now opening a 6-floor museum dedicated to the history of the New York Eve, New Year's Eve ball.
Wow. So basically, New York City owns the building.
Yep. Now they do. Crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
Okay.
I know.
Our next question is, How much confetti drops in Times Square on New Year's Eve?
Buttload.
Oh my. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever that amount is. Yeah.
Wow. That's hard to even imagine, really.
You Tammy Renee.
It's
Half a
a lot.
ton.
Oh,
Yeah, but way more than that.
I see some closer.
10 tons.
1 billion little pieces of confetti.
1 billion and 10 tons.
A
Susan,
billion.
Susan, you are actually the closest. The answer is more than 1 ton of confetti is dropped in Times Square on
crazy.
New Year's.
1 ton.
A
Yeah.
buttload.
Boatload, is that?
That looks like a lot.
Yeah.
I watched an interview with one of the street sweepers that has to clean up after that
Oh.
one year, and they said it's a mess. And they were asked what the strangest thing they ever found was, and it
Oh,
was
boy.
somebody's artificial leg was left in the street.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Possible, but I will never forget that.
They're really wasted.
an unfortunate soul.
Oh, wow.
Probably had a harder time getting back to his room.
yeah. Wow. Probably woke up the next day going, oh, dang.
Yeah, the next
I
morning
do
you
last
can't
night.
remember what happened to it. Okay, Angela, what's our next question?
Let's see. Okay, so it's in what country is it a tradition to jump off a chair at midnight on New Year's Eve to avoid having bad luck in the new year?
Wow, I've never heard of this tradition.
Germany?
Irish.
Okay,
Hmm.
we've got Greece and
I know there's a lot of countries have different. I saw something about. They said Italy. It's tradition you wear red underwear. It's supposed to be lucky.
red underwear.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we can adopt that. That's easy.
Well, I'm Italian. And I happen to be wearing red
Hungry.
underwear.
Hungry.
Don't say hungry.
I mean, that's why I chose
Lots
red.
of luck.
All right. The answer is Denmark.
Denmark.
Okay. Cool.
Wow.
Oh. And then I wonder how many injuries.
Yeah, of people falling off the chairs. That's
Yeah.
great. So we always had collard greens and black-eyed peas on New Year's Day for good luck. Do you guys do that same tradition, or are we the only ones?
Never heard of that before.
Never.
Really?
Mm-mm.
What is that? There's
I
a
grew up
name
in California.
For that. There's a name for that dish. What's it called? Like Johnny something?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
I bet the I think it's a southern thing.
Yeah, it's a southern thing, and the greens
Definitely.
represent
Hey,
money, and
Dana.
the greens represent something. I don't know.
Yeah,
We
it's like
always had
black
that.
thing for the
Collard
new year.
greens. We do pork and sauerkraut.
Yeah.
Maria said.
Hopping John, that's right, Susan.
Hoppin' John. Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard
Hoppin' John.
a lot of
Yeah.
people do that on New Year's.
We have no meal.
Never heard of that either.
Yeah, I just I think colleagues at work or something talk about it.
So we would always go with Dad, and he would get the ham hocks at the store, and then that's how you cook, all the stuff, and basically tons of butter and salt. And all those things aren't good for you, but they're delicious.
The ham hock is what they cook with the collard greens.
The black-eyed peas, and then bacon was always put in with the collard greens, but anything to give it that really good, like fatty flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's stewed for like hours. Yeah.
So
Wow.
the collard greens and the black-eyed peas aren't two separate dishes. It all goes in one.
Oh, they are two separate things.
Oh, it is two
Two
separate.
separate pots. Yeah, but we just always had them,
Thomas,
New Year's Day.
behave.
Yeah, I have not had a lot of Southern tradition things. Like I don't think I've ever had a hush puppy.
Oh my.
I have not. I
We
haven't
need
either.
that.
Hush puppy. You never had a hush puppy either, Angela?
No, I mean not that I remember.
Oh my.
I've never had.
They have them
What is it?
some places here, like Cracker Barrel, and
Oh
Oh
yeah.
no, you gotta get a good
Right.
one.
Oh, I don't.
No, you gotta eat some Southern food.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I've had catfish and hush puppies down in the States before.
Uh-huh.
Catfish is pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
you have to cook it right
real
though, I think,
problem.
right?
Yeah.
See,
The
Halen-
restaurant did a great job at it.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yes,
Yeah.
bad catfish is bad catfish, but if you get it cooked, like beer battered catfish is really good.
That sounds good. But I did try something that was from Florida that someone brought back. It was boiled peanuts, and I did not.
Yeah,
I
you didn't like them.
Boiled peanuts.
Boiled peanuts. I love boiled peanuts.
Really?
Oh.
Oh.
See what Halen, she said they're having black-eyed peas, fish, long noodles, pork, sauerkraut, champagne, 12 grapes at midnight. I think I have heard something
Wow.
about that, like 12 grapes or to represent something.
And the long noodles, I hear, is good. If you can get them all in one go, it's supposed to be good luck. Like without breaking them.
If you eat long noodles without?
Without breaking them.
Oh. Huh.
I miss pimento cheese the most. They don't have that here, and I miss it so much.
I wonder if you can make it, because I will send you my dad's pimento cheese recipe, which is the
Please
best.
do. I tried one and I wasn't crazy about the recipe. So yes, thank you.
You're
That'd be
welcome.
great.
Is that kind of like a pepper jack type cheese or no?
It has actual pimento peppers chopped up in it, and then like a really good cheddar
Mhm.
and a little bit of mayo, I think. Probably some garlic powder. I'm not sure what else goes in it.
Parents loved it. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, you make it like a spread and put it on bread.
Mhm.
It's very
Oh,
good.
Oh,
Or crackers.
Oh, so it's not a slice. It's a
No.
No, yeah, it's a spread.
Bread.
thing.
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting my Southern treats education.
Yeah.
We would
I
get-
miss
Anytime
it.
you visit Pam, she'll have to take you to get hush puppies and all the things.
And my favorite hush puppies are the ones that are super buttery, not the ones that are, no offense to folks from Texas, but you guys like to put like jalapeno and corn and stuff in them. And I like them just, buttery.
Plain.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we would get boiled peanuts because my grandma would bring them up. Well, we get them at the baseball stadiums here.
Mhm.
Grandma would bring them up in the summer from a guy that had boiled peanuts on the side of the road. And we'd get them. They were good.
Mm. I guess I'll have to try them. I don't know if I've ever had boiled peanuts.
I don't know.
What's
I
that?
have not.
I like the dry
Salty,
roast.
soft, delicious.
Huh. Oh, they're soft.
They're soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at a state fair in Arkansas at the rodeo one time, and they had hot peanuts in the shell in a bag. Oh, hey, they were so good.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
that would be
That's
good.
what we were like boiled, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
guess it was boiled peanuts.
Yeah.
Have you ever had fried Oreos? I had fried Oreos for the first time this year, and it was wonderful.
I had one once, and I thought that's just like I thought before I had it. That's gross. I'm like, okay, and then I had it, and I was like, wow, okay, this is
I've
amazing.
heard that. I've never had a fried Oreo, but I've heard that it's like heaven on earth or something.
It's
It's
good.
so good.
I mean, you feel
Luckily, it's just
bad.
fair food, so you don't see it very often.
Yeah.
I also want to do fried butter just to say that I've tried it, but
You tried that?
Yeah, whose idea was that?
I thought Iowa State Fair with
No,
Chris.
no, I had like the corn on the cob, like the corn that's
Oh.
like roasted,
Okay.
but
I thought it was fried butter.
yeah.
I don't know if I like fried butter or not.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of deep fried anything really.
good for you.
In Canada, they
I
have
can't do it anymore. My older gut does not appreciate it.
Right.
So I don't do it either.
Right.
can't eat the things that we used to
No.
love, but
No, but
That's the
Katie
fun thing about getting old.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have it once in your life, at least. I feel.
I guess you got to at least try it, huh?
Okay, what's our next trivia question, Angela?
Oh, I was looking at the trends because Pinterest also said cherry coated. I guess so. That's a thing. I guess they say now coated. Like that's so 90s coated. But this
Oh.
is cherry coated, like everything's this cherry red color.
I'm here for that. That's my favorite color.
Mhm.
Because one
Cherry.
time she was saying color drenching, where your whole room, everything is the same color. So I think that would be fun.
So monochromatic. Sort of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that the drenching, that color drenching has been trending for the past couple years, but now it's drenching everything. It's basically tile drenching, fabric drenching. People are just using the word drenching by just
Like
saying,
monochromatic.
yeah, covering the whole room with that particular material or color or whatever.
I know one of those things was pattern mixing, and that I don't. That is not something I'm good at. Where they're like, okay, this is a plaid couch, and then we have floral pillows and all these things mixed. But some people, they can really make it work. Like I used to watch Project Runway, and Tim Gunn had his whole shebang going, and there's all so many different patterns. Like I could never pick that out.
So being a vintage maximalist is what I would describe as part of my whole vintage industrials. I like a lot of things. And when you Google vintage maximalism, you find a lot of images of just pattern mixing, which I'm like, that does not describe me at all, but it's fascinating to look at because sometimes visually it's a lot, but when people can make it work, it's really impressive and kind of cool.
Yeah, I always like looking at the homes that have a lot of patterns and color.
Yes.
But I know even though like I can look at someone's room and go, that looks amazing. Like I love it. I know that if I actually was living in that room, I wouldn't be able to handle it.
Kaylin says, I'm drenching my hush puppies in beef tallow, lol.
Ooh.
Good for you, Halen. That's, and that's actually, believe it or not, that's much healthier than
Yes.
frying it in seed oils.
Yeah.
So
You guys, don't
Good
start
for
talking
you.
about food and diet.
oh my
This is
goodness.
Mr. Nutrition.
I'm not gonna say
He's
But
got
good
Stop
for
something.
seed oils with ya. They're bad.
Somebody needs his own nutrition channel.
no.
Well, you should do it.
I'm just passionate about it, but
Yeah.
So
about it.
I'll
So,
talk food with ya.
Yeah, we'll talk some food sometime.
Okay.
Daily health
Susan says, I hate food.
do any of you guys follow I am not a minimalist on Instagram? Have you ever seen his account?
I don't.
No.
Take a moment after this live is over, and I recommend this for anyone too in the chat, and go look at his stuff. I believe he's a lawyer, and he's in love with vintage, and his whole house, he's bought a house now, but he lived in this amazing loft, is nothing but all kinds of vintage, from antique like rosaries hanging on the wall to a whole bunch of Mexican pottery and white pottery. I mean, his house is, there's not a single square inch that isn't free, but it is so well decorated, and there's just pattern on top of pattern. It is the coolest thing to look at, and he's on Instagram, so if you look at his space, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, Angela, what's our next trivia?
I think the next question is too easy. Number 4.
Yes, so skip 4.
So, number 5 might be a little harder. So, it's in 46 BC. Which Roman leader made January 1st New Year's Day? Like,
Who's the head guy?
There's a lot of head.
Julius?
Mr. Caesar himself. That's a good guess, actually.
actually, that's correct.
Oh,
Right.
Come on, Heather.
hey.
Excellent job. Yep, Julius Caesar is the Roman leader. That's fantastic. Okay. I'm reading the next question, and I don't think that's a good one either. I'm gonna skip.
I feel like everybody knows that.
Right.
Like, what does Baby New Year wear? Like,
Oh, this is fun. This is probably easy too, but it's fun. Which city drops a giant chocolate kiss at midnight on New Year's Eve? And I should preface this by saying U.S. city because we've got some
Hershey?
friends.
Yay, Gavin!
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Gavin, you got it. Hershey, Pennsylvania.
I like chocolates though.
Yes.
That's fun. Okay. Angela, what's our next question?
Let's see. When did the practice of making New Year's resolutions start?
Now this is a really interesting question because I wouldn't have guessed
Hmm.
this.
Hmm.
New Year's resolutions. Wow.
It's probably older than we think, huh?
Yeah. 1750.
Yeah, good one.
17.
It's a guess.
Okay.
It's a
And then
guess.
we've got 1935 in the chat. After World War I, 1950. Okay, lots of different guesses. Angela, what's the answer?
So some 4,000 years ago with the ancient Babylonians.
Oh, just a little.
Wow.
And I'm just trying to imagine what their what their resolutions were.
Wow.
Like walk more, I'm
Well, Collector of Heart got it right. The practice of making New Year's resolutions is believed to have originated with the ancient Babylonians around 4,000 years ago during their
Wow.
called a kit.
interesting.
Very interesting.
That's
I wonder what their New Year's resolutions would have looked like.
Yeah, I'm just
Probably different.
curious. Like less
Wow.
fish, more
That's
meat.
amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing.
Dana said, "What city drops a big pickle at midnight?"
A
New
big
Orleans,
pickle.
I think.
A big pickle.
What city is
Dana, is it New Orleans?
I don't know.
know.
Chicago?
A big pickle.
Nope.
That would be
Keep
cool.
it clean in the chat.
Pickles.
Keep it clean.
Really?
Well, Germany makes sense.
I mean, this is a nice show, so
Oh,
keep it clean.
in Canada? Would it be in Canada?
If it is, I've never heard of it.
Dana, what's the
Yep.
answer?
Mount
Mount
Olive.
North
Oh,
Carolina.
the place that makes the
Mount
olive.
Olive pickles.
Oh,
Why don't they drop an olive?
Oh, wow.
really?
North Carolina.
Be an olive.
So in Fernandina, Florida, which is just about 45 minutes from me, they drop a giant shrimp. But they don't do it at midnight. They do it at 7 o'clock because apparently kids like to see the shrimp drop, so they make
And
it.
shrimp.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
the idea.
It's midnight, go to bed.
Yeah, I just like the idea of seeing a giant shrimp in the sky.
That's cool.
Yes, that sounds fun.
Made of Swarovski crystals,
That would be great.
That's a fancy shrimp.
That is a fancy shrimp. Okay. Let's see. An Irish tradition on New Year's Eve is to add what to the table to pay a tribute to loved ones who have passed away during the year?
I don't know.
Potato. I don't know.
A potato. That's a good.
A glass of wine or something, maybe?
That's close. It's an extra place setting at the table.
Oh.
Yeah. Dana says,
Yeah. That's not very exciting.
No, it's not. Okay. What do people in Japan make sure they get in the mail before New Year's Day?
Make sure they get in the mail before New Year's Day.
This one's kind of a trick question.
What's the question?
In Japan.
What do you want to get in the mail before New Year's Day? Make sure you get it in the mail.
Susan says bamboo.
Taxes.
Read something. Hi, Nick from New York. Welcome.
I don't know. They have so many different traditional things that they do. I don't know.
So they want to apparently get their New Year's cards in the mail before New
I
Year's.
was, I was thinking that, but that's too obvious.
That's too obvious. You should have said it.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh.
To get it postmarked before the new year.
I guess so, and they get them in people's mailboxes.
Oh.
Wow.
I see Nick coming in the chat. Nick was one of our winners on our Christmas Eve extravaganza light show. Nick, thank you for playing along. As you can see, I'm not well, so I have not mailed out the
That was good.
prizes yet. But yes, they will be coming to you. But glad to have you in the chat. Okay. Angela, there's a few other questions. You want to go for them?
Yeah, there's in Greece. What object is baked into a New Year's cake to bring good luck?
Ah,
Is that like the Mardi Gras baby?
That's what I thought of.
yeah.
Or a coin. A coin.
That's a good guess, Karen. I like her answer.
I like Karen's answer too.
Me too, because that's correct.
That's because his mother on birthdays would always wrap coins in foil and put them in the cake.
Oh,
So that's the only reason I guessed it, because of your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our Publix bakery stopped selling king cakes because apparently people here didn't know that there was a baby inside and they were choking on the baby.
Well,
Oh no.
Which is kind of crazy, but yeah, so we can get them more.
You need a warning label.
Yeah.
see, one of the questions is the grapes. You know, 12 people eat 12 grapes in Spain. Let's see. Okay, what was a major fear as soon as the clock struck midnight on January 1st, 2000?
Computers would crash.
Yeah.
The world would end.
Yeah, we thought.
Everyone thought they were going to lose their bank accounts.
Yeah, everything
Yep.
was just
Y2K.
Smoke.
Y2K.
Yep.
I remember that one.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
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 I remember in 2000 going down to Disney and they had 2000 in big illuminated letters over the ball and thinking that was just so cool and magical.
That is cool.
Okay. Excuse me. We've got one more question, Angela. I think number 9 is good. It's easy, but it's good.
Okay, what country produces champagne, the drink of choice on New Year's Eve?
Country? France?
Yes, which country?
Francais.
Francais is correct. France.
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 Yes, France. Lots of people in the chat got that right.
Yeah.
Isn't that a region in France too? Champagne?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because they say, it can only be from there to be considered champagne.
True champagne, yeah.
Or else what? Sparkling wine?
Yeah, which may come from Italy. I think that Italy has the Prosecco. Doesn't that come from Italy?
The sweet wine.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I've tried some dry wines and I'm just not a fan. I like the sweet stuff.
Yeah, the good fruity sweet wine. Sangria is very popular here in the South.
Here, babe.
I'm good.
Okay. We're tipping things over,
That happens on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
At least you didn't leave your leg somewhere.
Our campaign tonight is LaCroix.
LaCroix. I love LaCroix. What's your favorite LaCroix flavor?
Favorite LaCroix is probably lime.
Yes.
But it's kind of plain. But my favorite Waterloo is the orange vanilla.
Yes, I love the orange vanilla and the Waterloo. And the Polar. Have you had the Polar seltzer?
I haven't.
Oh, they have a strawberry
one.
That's very good.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I pretty much don't find a lot that I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bubbly stuff.
Yeah, I don't love grapefruit, but other than that, I pretty much like every flavor.
Oh, I like the grapefruit LaCroix. I'm not a big fan of the black cherry flavors. Those are my least favorite.
See, they have the limoncello, and
But you like
Yeah.
we got that and thought it would just be like a lemon flavored, but it almost has that creamy, like a cream soda kind of feel
Mhm.
to it. And everybody in the house didn't like it.
Oh, I love that.
They're
Yeah,
just like,
she loves lemon.
what is this?
I love it.
Yeah. There's a key lime.
Yeah,
A key
I like that one
lime,
too.
Okay.
It's very similar to the limoncello, but it's more limey, but it kind of has that vanilla cream flavor to it.
Yeah, I got. So, have you had the Perrier flavored sparkling water in a can, like the long skinny can?
No, usually we get those in the bottle.
In the
Yeah.
bottle. I love the lime. So good.
Yeah.
Well, they have ones now that are in cans, and the grocery delivery person brought me. I ordered what I thought was just a regular, like, sparkling water in a can from them, but they have a sugar variety apparently, which kind of defeats the purpose of it.
Mhm.
I will say it was some sort of like Italian pomegranate or something. It was delicious.
Oh, is that the Pellegrino?
Pellegrino, that's it. San
Yeah, those are good.
Those are good.
Those are good.
Favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, they have a San Pellegrino that are flavored like LaCroix, flavored waters without sugar in them. And you really like those.
Yeah.
I like those. I
That's
can.
where to find
Shannon,
them.
I was just saying we need to get some Baileys.
Oh, yeah, Bailey's.
That's what I gifted my friend for Christmas.
I've started drinking poppy soda. The orange flavor is very good. I'm not familiar with
Those
poppy
are the
soda.
prebiotic sodas.
Oh,
So we have some at work, Culture Pop, and I don't want to like Ollie's or something. And I've had those, and they have like a knockoff Mountain Dew in one of the brands.
Uh-huh.
And I said, if you're trying to get your Mountain Dew fix, and it's only 4 grams of sugar, that's pretty good option, and it's probiotic. So, like, if you're
I would say it is a very good option for people who are hooked on soda. If they can cut back on their sugar to the poppy, I think that's great.
That's what I
Leveling down.
Yeah. And then you can go to sparkling water. It's like you're weaning off.
We-
Where can you go down?
Yes.
I can down sparkling water. It's a problem.
Mhm.
Yeah,
well,
our daughter-in-law likes
Scott just found out that they actually put something in the LaCroix that actually make them a little bit addictive.
Oh,
Ah, not good.
I still like it. I sound like I can't stop. I like it
Well,
too much.
yeah,
Well, they're better than
learning,
It's working.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know.
yeah, they put stuff in there to make it really yummy and delicious, and
Yeah.
questionable if you're trying to watch your blood sugar and things like
Your
that.
chemicals.
So chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate.
They get by
Mhm.
calling it natural flavorings. Apparently, natural flavorings
Yeah.
can be an umbrella word for a lot of
It
things.
can mean a
Or when
lot.
they
Yeah.
said
Sure.
spices, and you're like,
Yeah.
what
Mhm.
is this?
Yeah. What?
Naturally essenced or natural
Yeah.
flavors, and there's a lot of times it's not so natural. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I still love it.
I know it's still good though. It tastes good.
It tastes good. I read the Golden Corral. And I don't know how true this is, but I read that they spray an additive on their food that makes you want to eat more of it.
It's like
And-
MSG or something, or
Yeah, something they put in there so
Mm.
that you eat more, and it's specifically the foods that are cheaper, like the
Oh, yeah.
macaroni and stuff.
Yeah, they want you to finish off those trays.
Yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
my gosh.
So do what you will with that information, but now you know.
thank you for
Yeah.
that, Katie. I appreciate that because we don't really go out to eat very
No.
much, but
I don't eat a Golden
We
Corral.
don't either.
I was
we
like
won't,
7, but
we won't go to Golden Corral if we ever do go to.
Tricky.
Mhm.
Okay, so what vintage items do you think are going to be trendy in the new year?
That's $1 million question, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I wouldn't have any clue.
Yeah.
You know, there's just too many options.
Mhm.
One of the trends they were saying maybe is tones of silver, but not in the bright chrome tones, more brushed aluminum, more matte color, which probably could tie back into, because they're saying Rococo Revival was one of the ones that came up on Pinterest. So I feel like you could pull silver into a lot of categories.
Yeah.
I think the tarnished silver is going to be something that people are going to.
Yeah, Nate, tarnished silver.
Sorry, Nate. I know.
All the patina.
That's been trending forever in my
that'll
world.
Never go out of, I think that'll
Yeah.
never go out of style because it's so classy.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I think it depends on the style you like. I still think there's going to be a lot of people who still like brass.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I don't see the boho or the mid-century leaving anytime soon. I think that's definitely
mid-century
hanging out.
modern will.
There's one booth we have a really huge antique, 3 floors, 1,000 vendors. And there's one, she's on Instagram, and I think it's Brown Paper Thrift.
I think so.
She has a booth and she sells the kind of moody artwork. It just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes from her booth. So it's darker gray tones and browns and scenery artwork. It just sells constantly for her.
Well, that might be something that people will want. I think having something that's more neutral and goes with kind of everything is always going to be popular.
Yeah.
Virginia said French country.
French country. Yeah, I could
And
definitely.
Karen Girl said neutral, muted colors.
Yeah, I think for people who are into traditional, I was thinking that this year we would see more of because Ralph Lauren had a moment last year in fashion. I was thinking that for the people who liked traditional, we'll probably start seeing more of what I consider the Ralph Lauren style from the 90s, which would be kind of like English country manner, the upper crust, equestrian, horse blankets.
That's what I was going to say, the boots to the knees.
Plaid. Yes, but in metals, Ralph Lauren is very brass or pewter, like it wouldn't matter. But I was thinking that we might start seeing that pop up in the mainstream, like the Targets and the things like that.
I think that's
a modern,
beautiful style.
Yeah, I think that for the people who like modern and really love like the people who are into mid-century pottery. And I think they're going to start leaning a little heavier into brutalist. I think brutalist is going to start getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, for the modern folks, I think if you see anything that you know for sure is legit brutalist, go for it.
Yep. I'm looking at my brutalist clock right now in my office.
I just learned about brutalist this year.
Well, that's exciting. Maybe that can.
I love pottery. I know pottery does make an advance. Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of the handmade stuff, I mean, it's already trending, but I think more of it's going to come back. People shopping more local, and then the thrifting, can bring any type of style, but I think more people will get, I'm hoping and predicting the wood furniture will have its comeback.
Yeah, I definitely agree with handmade, bespoke, hand painted furniture going to start coming back. Especially if it's like the folk stuff, any sort of stuff. All of this still like quilts, hand painted anything. Definitely, primitives are going to start. They're going to still explode.
Heather, I don't have this. I just took this picture from the wall, but this is a great example of
wow.
Yes,
Brutalist.
that's a great. See, that's a great
Ooh.
example of true brutalist. I
Wow.
think a lot of the young kids still don't know how to decipher what is true, like 1960s, the brutalist movement versus the 1970s Gothic revival, because you can find 1970s
Mhm.
Gothic revival that's still like iron pieces. They're still very heavy. They're almost like Spanish Gothic. And they might think that's brutalist, but it is not. It's Gothic
Not,
revival versus,
Brutalist comes more
versus
from the
brutalist.
mid-century, true mid-century era.
Joe
Yeah.
S. said, "Stop the chalk paint."
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
never
not into
gonna.
the
It's never
distressed
gonna go
furniture
away.
vibe.
You know, the thing that just kills me, and I will say this and then I will not talk about it because I could go on for 2 hours about it. And so I don't want to sound like I'm on the soapbox here, but it really disturbs me deeply to my core when people take beautiful mid century furniture and paint it some odd, trendy color. It just irritates me because I'm a purist and that's just me. Everybody do what they want, do what they love, what brings them joy. But sitting on a desk that I thrifted right now, and someone has taken the top, and I have not stripped it yet. And when I would do, it's going to go back to its original glory. But they have painted it this weird green color, and it drives me crazy because I knew it was this beautiful brown when it started out its life. But
Yeah.
I like things to be original.
Well, yeah, I know I've seen some and heard people talking on some of the antique shows that we watch that sometimes they do a certain process. You can never undo what they've done to the wood. Is it bleaching it
Bleaching.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
but like once that's been done to the woods, you can never
Really restore it
undo it.
really well.
You know what I
again.
mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't realize that. I thought I mean I guess you're
Yeah.
right. It must do something to the actual grain or
Yeah.
the pores, you mean maybe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it closes right up so they can
Yeah.
never. But
Can't
a lot
soak
of people are like,
It won't take a stain again, I
Yeah.
think.
interesting.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Or it's blotchy. I can't remember what,
Yeah,
but it does something.
yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of people are like, oh, don't do that.
Don't bleach it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and
But-
Lynn, okay, yeah, when I said I think painted furniture is going to come back, I think the chalk paint is its own world, right? But what I mean is the folk pieces
yes.
that
Yeah.
were like from like Germany, Hungary. There's a lot of antique actual
With the scenes.
pieces that were designed and painted with all these like,
Yep.
cute folk
Design.
prints, folk florals. That's what's going to
Yeah.
that's
Someone
what's going
said,
to
yeah,
come
like
back.
pole painting.
Yeah, on more of like a tastemaker level, that's what I meant by what's going to come
Mhm.
back. The chalk
Yeah, that'd be good.
thing.
Yeah, toll painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the handmade pottery. I feel like is super popular on Instagram.
Yeah, I
Those
think
people are just selling out.
pottery is definitely. It doesn't even matter if it's like vintage mid-century or like current.
Yeah,
Any
it's
sort
cute
of
and kitschy. Like,
yeah, it's just blowing up everywhere. People want the handmade quality of earthenware.
Yeah, and there's a good feeling of having it in your hand and around
hey,
your
buying
space,
space.
too.
Hey, Kathy
Myra.
Wiseman.
Myra's from Jacksonville, so shout out to my
Susie.
Jacksonville friends.
Yeah, I mean, I personally love metal. I love, silver plate, but I do think pottery is gonna continue to explode as like a much more overall popular thing for people to start collecting and seeking out.
Yeah,
and I
unique
think
stuff. Not
baskets
the
have already
same
had their
type stuff.
comeback, but they're going to have an even more bigger comeback because people I see are decorating with those big baskets, and I think more people are seeking them out secondhand.
See, that's what I was thinking, Joe, as like the tramp art, because people are looking for the unique type thing. And like younger people are getting, thrifting in the vintage and unique stuff, and it might be something bringing in that kind of a memorable piece. Oops.
That's good.
Yeah, which surprises me because tramp art is very primitive. And
Yeah.
I have seen that. I have seen some of the younger kids be like, oh, tramp art, and they're putting it in their more modern homes. And I'm like, I don't even know if they realize very primitive style,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is why I think primitive is going to keep sneaking in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna keep coming.
Yeah.
Well, we need to all thrift that now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that
If your wood
It's out
furniture
there.
is well,
on the
it's
East
cheap.
Coast?
Yes.
Right?
East Coast
The
primitive.
milk
East
glass
Coast
coming
primitive. Yeah.
back. Still waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not so much. It's harder to find that, I think, out on the west in the western US where things are not.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a lot of that here in Florida, even. You
Mhm.
get, I think because people think Florida is a lot of retired folks that we would easily get the kind of antiques and vintage, that we all love. It's
Mhm.
not as easy here because people come from other places. And when they
Mhm.
move here, they get rid of it all because they're wanting to downsize. So
Start fresh.
here we find a lot of things from like Kirkland's and Hobby Lobby and
Oh, really?
at
Live,
state.
laugh, love.
Oh yeah, I mean
Really?
state sales all the time, and it's a lot of that kind of stuff or precious moments or
Really? See,
Yeah.
in my head, I feel like all of the estate sales would have like the fancier estate sales, the Palm Beach Regency, like when everybody
Golden Girls.
was going, kind of, but even earlier than that, like more 40s, 50s, like the whole Cabana,
Mhm.
what was it called? Like the big bark cloth, fancy, bold, color printed drapes.
we don't see a lot of that here. Every once in a while, I'll hit an estate sale that has mid-century stuff in it. In fact, that Brutalist clock came from a mid-century time capsule house. The people had moved from New York like in the 60s, and the house was full. I mean, of nothing, but everything was mid-century. The wallpapers, the sconces, and they wanted the lamps were like $300 or $400 a lamp, and everything was gone almost in the first hour of the estate sale opening by people that actually were
Oh, I love estate sales like
mid-century. But that was really cool, and I just happened to luck out and get that clock.
That's so much fun. That's so much fun just to go, even if you don't really buy too much, just to
Yeah,
see
just to
what
be there.
everyone- and everyone's excited. Like there's like excitement in the line before you get in, and because you see the pictures online, but there's so much excitement to it. It's fun.
It is. Well, that estate sale I went to a few weeks ago that had the aluminum tree, I didn't get it for $340, but just to be there with all the people that were lined up wanting the aluminum tree was very exciting.
Yeah. We went to one a couple years ago in Boulder. Remember that? It was
Oh, that was probably like
Really?
6. That was probably older than that.
we were in this house. So
No, we
5
were
years.
not. No, when I bought that,
No, we weren't.
it
Oh,
came
wow.
to this house.
I'm terrible with time, you guys.
Yeah.
I forget. I don't realize sometimes how much time has passed. But
Well, I know. I'll say something like, "Oh, that was only a couple years ago." Karen go, "Well, no, that was like 10."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Do you remember the Tudor like castle looking
Oh,
house?
in Denver?
Oh,
Oh.
I'll never forget that house.
I remember the house, just how
Oh my
this
gosh.
house was so well built.
Estate sales are the best. Let's just
They are.
they're the best.
Yeah.
If you don't have estate sales where you are, make a trek, travel to a place that does. They are wonderful.
Mhm.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Well,
marketing the house.
The year 2000 was 25 years ago now.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son was 4 years old. I remember we just kind of hung out at the house because we didn't want to go out because we didn't know if it was, the world was going to end. So we just
Yeah.
hung out at the house. I remember just,
Stay at home.
I don't even remember.
yeah, you
Oh
probably,
my
yeah.
God, Angela.
I think Angela was about the same age as my son. I think.
Katie, how old were
I
you?
was
When
like-
how old were you when the 2000
14?
happened?
I was,
Okay.
let's see, I was born in 94, so very small. Like,
6.
6 years old.
I
yeah.
think I was 14.
I remember going to Disney in 2000, so I don't know if Mom just wasn't worried, or I just distinctly remember Disney, so maybe that's what we did to distract ourselves.
Yeah.
Wow. Y'all are still wet behind the ears then.
Babies, I tell you.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, I was in Walt Disney in Florida, Disneyland or Disney World or whatever it was, in I think 73 or 74. And they just opened up like a couple years before that
Yeah.
in Florida.
Cool.
Oh,
We had season passes when I was little because Florida resident discount back then was so cheap that you could, and we lived 2 hours away, so we could just drive down there on a Saturday and it was nothing. But now, even with Florida resident discount, it's just almost astronomical to go to Disney for the day.
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine.
last time we went to Disneyland, it was a horrible experience. We couldn't keep up with the new ways of the world, and we got on maybe 3 rides the
Oh.
entire day. The entire day.
The wait times are
Never
long.
been.
You have to be a full-on project manager to go to Disneyland now. You can't just go to Disneyland without a plan. You have to be like, this is what we're doing, and you have to do the what they call the genie pass crap and do the app, and you can't just go like do whatever.
Yeah, Universal's the same way. I had a pass for it last year and it was fun, but I learned quickly to check the app. And sometimes the train to, if you have the park hopper thing and you can go between the two parks, they've got the train. Sometimes the train going one way was an hour wait, that it was faster to walk the 10 minutes out of the one park and go to the other park just to get on one ride that had a lesser than a ride in the one park. And, on the app, sometimes you'd see the wait time. And you're like, sweet, 10 minutes. And so you'd run over there. And then by the time you got there, it would be like 35 minutes or an hour. And it's like,
it's hard to plan. You have to be good.
Yeah.
Some people are really good at it.
Catherine is, you want to go to Disney.
I would love to go with Catherine to Disneyland.
Yeah, for sure.
I could see someone like her being just like,
So I went to Disneyland, the Epcot and stuff once. I was 13 years old, and I have a photo.
Oh, let me see.
That my family and I took. I want to show you guys this. Look at this photo. The red and white bandana is a mannequin.
Oh man, he looks so real. And the eyes are closed.
Isn't that hysterical?
I'm scared in here.
Adorable.
Oh my goodness, that's so cute.
Isn't that funny?
That's a good picture.
I think
that picture.
Let's see. If I can find it, I have a photo of me at Disney when I was little. Okay, hang on.
We never went to Disney World or Disneyland.
Okay, here's me and my brother when I was little.
Oh.
And I had this shirt that was so soft and I loved it. I'm holding it up. It went everywhere with me.
Oh.
And my brother.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
Look at little
kid.
Oh, how cute.
God.
And my brother, he told me that Mickey didn't love me and he didn't know me as my brother or brothers do. And so I cried and was upset. And then we went to the electrical light parade and I had my little Mickey shirt and I held it up. And Mickey, I don't know how my mom got this on camera, but Mickey pointed at me and he waved. And then I turned around and I said, see, Mickey does love me.
Oh.
No,
Oh, God, I love that. That's so sweet.
That's so cute.
Wow, that's precious.
It is precious.
Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Brothers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, this has been so much fun, and I hate to duck out, but I'm going to go rest. Angela, if you want to continue on the party, you're welcome to. This has been fun.
Take care, baby. Get some rest.
Hope you get feeling better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. Angela, can you continue the stream, or do you want
I think we're gonna wrap it up soon. I work today, and so I'm getting tired. But I know I feel like we've been on good and we went over our trivia, so we can
Yay.
let everybody go celebrate still.
Yes.
Do your
lots of-
thing.
I wore a brooch for you, Katie.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, same here.
Road
Let me get in the camera. There you go.
Oh, I love
Oh,
it.
Yeah.
Oh, very
Aurora
nice, Ken.
Borealis.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's
Yay.
so fun. I love it.
So thank you
guys
guys
look
for
great.
joining us.
Thanks for
Everybody
having
for
us.
hanging out.
Oh, thanks for having us.
So
So
much
fun
fun.
having
We got to hang out with the agendas.
That's
too.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, how lucky are we to hang out with these two young kids? They,
Oh,
Yeah.
can tolerate
very,
the old
very.
folks.
They
We
tolerate-
love
People,
Angela
like,
and
staying
Katie.
in away from people.
And Heather, I'm going to message you. I might be making a trip to Denver this year to visit Carson, so I'll get to hopefully see you.
Please, yeah, let's hope
yeah.
because I've got some trips planned too. So hopefully I will be here. But
Yes, I'll message you. We'll connect.
okay.
Laura.
Oh.
Get
Yay,
some
well,
rest, Katie. We hope you feel better.
Everyone
Thank
have an
you, guys.
amazing New Year's Eve and
Yeah.
Happy
to
New
a
Year.
great New Year.
Yeah. Happy New
Yeah.
Year, guys.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to everybody.
bye.
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 Bye.